Hello everyone, today we're back with F My Clef. We're talking about a very special exercise today. It's called Igor's Chromatic exercise. He wrote Igor's Chromatic exercise for one of his students named Igor, and we're going to go ahead and check it out. It is 6 lines long. If you find it, I think it's on page 91 of Standing in the Shadows of Motown, somewhere around there. And you'll notice it's about 6 lines long and it moves in what's called a circle of fourths. And so on our bass, I'm using a 5-string bass, so it starts in C. So that'll be the first fret of that low B string. And like I said, it moves up the circle of fourths. So we'll go from C to F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. So first thing we're going to go over is the first line, which is in C. We're going to go ahead and play it here. And there's a note that a number of people have pointed out. In the third measure, when we're looking at the end of 3 and the end of 4, we're going to go ahead and correct that A to a G. So it's not going to look exactly like it's written on the page. So here we go with the first line of Igor's Chromatic exercise. So moving on to line 2, we're going to go ahead and play a very similar pattern in the key of F. So if you're reading the sheet music, you'll notice that that B that's written there on the downbeat of 3, that's a B flat, and then we see on the downbeat of 4 the natural sign, making it the note of B. So here we go, line 2 of Igor's Chromatic exercise. Next we're going to go ahead and, like I said, we're moving up the circle of fourths. So now we're on the third line, we're in the key of B flat. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and play the fourth line now, which is in the key of E flat. And you'll notice on that third measure, that triplet is a little bit of a different pattern than we've been playing. We're going to go E flat, B flat, F sharp on that triplet. We just sort of ran out of strings and we're going to keep the rhythm the same. So here we go, E flat, line 4. Alright, and just like we had to compensate a little bit because of our string count, so too on these last 2 lines when we're in A flat and D flat, we're going to go ahead and change our fingering a little bit. As you may know, Jamerson came from playing upright bass, and people talk about the hook, I think it's called, the hook, the claw, and how he just used one finger, which is a little bit of a carryover from playing upright. But because he played upright, there's a tendency I find for a lot of upright players to use the open strings and play down here in this first register, in this first position, as much as possible. So in that spirit, I'm going to not not play those sorts of shapes, but really try to keep it as much as I can in the 0 to first 4 frets. And so here we go with the A flat pattern. I think I'm actually going to show you a little bit of a different way to play that last measure. And we're getting that open string the way I think it was intended to be played, or the way that I think an upright bass player would want to play it, given their affinity for open strings. And here we go with the last line, line 6. We're going to go ahead and play this in D flat, and I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Again, this is Igor's chromatic exercise from Standing in the Shadows of Motown, and thanks for sticking around. Again, this has been Igor's chromatic exercise from Standing in the Shadows of Motown. Thanks so much for sticking around. If you have any questions, shoot me a DM, drop a comment, and give me a like. Follow, subscribe. F my clef.